why is it very effective when it comes down to your testing phases. All right, what's up everyone? Welcome back to RZ's channel. Today's topic will be about how you can use the bar replay button at your disposal for you to test a strategy to prove your hypothesis when it comes down to any particular system. It can be supply and demand zones, it can be support resistance, it can be trend line breaks. But what the beauty of is with the replay button tool is that you can use that to go back into the past and pretty much look at past historical data, and from there you can test certain things, as in what you're gonna see in this video. And this is just what I teach within my mentees, and also inside of All Trading Academy, and why is it very effective when it comes down to your testing phases, when it comes down to you learning a new strategy and how you can put it into use. Because the most important thing here is how you can start applying it for you to start doing it live, right? So as you may see on my screen, we're on Euro USD on a 4-hour charts. I mean, yes, we see in hindsight, of course, that's what a backtesting is that you want to look at what you can do from the past and how would you participate in, right? You can say that, okay, I can use a resistance in here to look for a rejection. Okay, it didn't hit here, but it hit here. But let me see what I can do within this resistance for me to look for a rejection, right? And so let's actually show you on how you can do that based off of hitting that replay button. So as you may see here, you have the alert and the replay button, and that replay button is you're using a time machine to go back in time, and yeah, so that's what we're doing here. Let's click right in that area and how you would have been a participant in. And again, this is very crucial for you to test out because this is on how you would approach it, right? So let's just say we're using a supply zone, right? So let's just say that price broke structure to the downside here. So let's do that right there. Cool. So we have a break of a structure right there. So let's put BOS. Nice. And let's actually delete that. And let's put on a rectangle. Let's say our supply zone is right there. So touch once, touch now the second time, and now within the second time, what can we do? We can look for a rejection, but again, we want to see on how can we confirm. And again, this is just what the beauty of hitting that replay button tool, and how you can use that tool to test your system. And so let's just say our system pretty much is, let's say, rejection off the supply zone. You have your structural break to go downtrending. And now our last step is to confirm, right? So this is what we have, right? Price came into that supply zone, rejected, break of structure, that's 2. Now the third step is how can we confirm this? And how to confirm that is, of course, we're in a 4-hour time frame. And do you use a 4-hour time frame? If you're a swinger, then yes, you would. But if you're a day trader like I am, or a scalper, then what you would do here is just break it down to piece by piece. And how to do that is by using these time frame intervals. And so let's go on to a 15-minute time frame, and let's just see on how we would confirm this based off a certain strategy that we can use. And so let's just say when price comes into my supply zone, right? So when price comes into my supply zone, I like to look for some sort of rising wedge, right? And within that rising wedge, I can look for the breakthrough of the last high that made, or this high that came from this low, which is this one, and I want to see a breakthrough to see a new low. So we're using key levels, and within that key levels, it will be something right in here. So I'm looking for that breakthrough to look for shorts, right? And so let's just put on a trend line based off our rising wedge pattern. So we have 1, structure broken, 2, rejection off the supply zone, because we see multiple rejections right inside this supply zone. But we want to see on how can we look for a downtrend again to mitigate the imbalance that leads in here, right? Just like that. So in this case, we're just testing our system, we're testing our strategies to see if it's, can we prove that it works, right? And so let's just put on a pattern just like this, and let's make that thicker. All right, cool. So we have that and we have this. So you can see that, what is that? A rising pennant, rising wedge, whatever you want to call it. But in this case, I'm looking for a breakthrough below this. And that's just for me personally, because this is just where that high is coming from. It's coming from this low. And so I'm going to enter here, stop loss above this high. And we want to target this whole downward move to target the imbalance in here, right? And so let's put that on the side. And again, we're using the supply and demand zone plus a pennant strategy behind this supply zone, or you can say it's a resistance, and we're looking for the downward move, right? So let's continue. Okay, cool. And the moment that price breaks below this, we're in that trade, and we can target the why is it very effective when it comes down to your testing phases. Pretty much a target where we can start using our stop loss or turn our stop loss into a break even, because we don't want price to bounce right back up and just start seeing an uptrend again, right? So let's put that there, and we want to target this main liquidity here, just like that. And there you go, nice. So let's just see what happens. Okay, cool. Now we're in that trade, but our stop loss still above there, which is here. We're in that trade, tagged as in, but we're looking for a breakthrough. Okay, cool. We got a nice couple of pips to the downside, perfect. And let's just see what we can do. So price came right back up, did not take out this low, so we still, have our stop loss in here initially, and we're just waiting for price to make another low to see a rundown, right? So let's do that again. Okay, cool. Now we can turn it into a break even, and if price pulls right back up on us, then it is what it is, right? So let's just continue. Perfect. Perfect. And you can see on how we're just pretty much using the back testing feature to test our system, right? Our system, our strategy, and how we can use that to at our advantage when it comes down to live trading, right? So within that, we just want to see on how we can use pretty much the break and the retest into a supply or demand zones to start seeing a run right back down, right? And again, all we're doing is just trying to target certain amount of pips if you have a set RR, or if you just want to take out main liquidity lows, then you can do that as well. But in this case, you can see all we're doing here just pretty much looking for a break, a retest, and a rundown. Again, that's just what we're doing here, because we want to continue with the overall order flow to make that new low, right? Because you have a new low, you have this low, right, which is the initial new low. Price came right back up. Banks is now offloading their positions within these zones, within these areas in here, to start seeing a flush to the downside, and that's how we participate where money is heading to or flowing to, right? And so again, all we're doing here is just combining structure using the S&D zones and how we can use those S&D zones to look for our confirmation at last to be right about the direction. Okay, so let's just see what we get. Okay, cool. So still no break even yet, but even along the way to the downside, I would have already partial out some positions, because I don't want price to pull back up on me, because if I do, then this right here would just be a waste of a trade, and I could be waiting and waiting pretty much days, right? So this right here was what, Friday, and this is already Monday. You see that? So Friday to Monday, and again, you see that right there would be a nice swing. So now you can see the moment that price took out this liquidity here, what did price just do? Reverse right back up, right? And so since price just reversed right back up, what I can do, I can move my stop loss using structural highs and structural, higher highs and higher lows, or lower lows and lower highs. And so what I can do here is just move my stop there, and the moment that price comes right back up into these ranges up here, I can add in more positions to potentially take out this low in here, because it still has not made the new leg to the downside, right? So let me just put that there, and let's just see how price can come up into that zone. Okay, cool. So let me stop there. So just what we did in here, or what we did in here, is the same thing which you would do in here as well, and you can find miniature scalps and day trades from here to here. Why? Is because if I just drew on this date range tool from this high to this low, that's 4 hours and 15 minutes. 4 hours and 15 minutes, it's a nice day trade. It's a nice scalps, multiple scalps to look for shorts. And think about this: if we're in a 15-minute time frame, think about what a 1 minute time frame will give you. On a 1 minute time frame will give you would pretty much give you a nice entry points, nice confirmations, and it's the same thing, right? Something like that to look for shorts. And you see all we're doing here is just using the back testing feature and just testing things out. This is what I do. This is what I teach my students in the mentorship, and how you can pretty much test out your special strategy, or if you created a strategy on your own, perfect, test it out, right? And so there's multiple ways to participate or approach these markets, but all in all, it's just you have to have a system first, right? If you don't have a system, then you're not knowing where you can participate in, right? Either the upside, downside, whichever, okay? But in this case, what I used here was a supply zone. Inside the supply zone, look for that test in here, and what type of strategy did I use within that area. Then we use some sort of break of a pennant, and after that break of a pennant, we went short, right? And so you just see on how that played out with nice partials. Price came right back up, gave you nice distribution schematics. The last liquidation here off that trend line, and price just continued going lower, right? And so let's just try something else, or let's just use this level in here, and let's just see if we can get a nice trade in, right? So we have high, low. So let me move myself, low, and within that low, where's that low coming from? It's coming from this supply zone in here. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna look for a confirmation, and I'm gonna use some sort of strategy. What I can use Wyckoff, I can use a double break to the downside, whichever it is, right? So let's just say we're gonna look for a break below this low, and we're gonna look for a double break, right? So let's just wait. Okay, cool. Now that price broke below that low, all we're doing here is just waiting for the retest into here, or we can already create some sort of pennant just like this. And let me just make that darker. And again, this is just what it is when it comes down to you testing within the back testing feature, okay? So let's put that there, perfect. So let's do that there, okay? And so let's just say we're gonna target this low to set this to a break even, okay? And so if price wants to continue going lower, my main target would be an imbalance. In that case would be right in here, okay? Right there, perfect. So about 32, yeah, 32. Okay, cool. So let's see what we get. So still no entry at the break below this, because we're looking at as a rising flag to go short. But in this case, from this rejection from here to here on a second time frame, or even on a 1 minute time frame, you could get a nice couple of pips on that move, right? So let's just see if price does break below here. If so, we're in that trade, okay? So, okay, cool. We're in that trade, boom, stopped out, right? And there you go. And what you would do on that one, you'll see why did we get stopped out? Was there liquidity? Was there, is this an overall trend? You just have to ask yourself these questions when it comes down to you back testing, okay? And so let's just see what happens. Maybe you didn't do anything wrong, right? So let's just see what happens. Okay, cool. Price just started, running right back up, and banks decided to take price right back up higher, and that's it. When it comes down to things like that, it's normal, okay? So let's try something else. Okay, let's try this pair, and let's go back in time, okay? So let's do this, and let's choose anywhere in the chart. Don't know where we're at, just pretty much just selected anywhere really, and you just see that. What do? We time traveled. We time traveled to the past. And what day is this? This is Thursday, September 28th of 2023, and this is already 4:45 p.m., right? And so we don't participate in that market at that time. And so what we're going to do here is wait until our session starts. which is right here, 8 a.m. Okay, cool. So let's just do that. So nothing here matters to me at the moment. It's only when I wake up at this time or just when I'm ready to trade. So there you go. 8 a.m. 8 a.m. has hit. And what do we have here is a break. That's one. A break here. That's two. And you have a demand zone in here. So what I would do here on a 5-minute time frame is I would confirm this. Okay. So in this case, for me to be bullish, I need to see some sort of break above this high, okay? Because we're still holding this bearish order flow to see something like this. But all in all, I'm just looking for a breakthrough to look for longs again, right? So let's see, there you go. A breakthrough of that, that demand zone on the 1 minute or 2 minutes, but on 5 minutes, look on how it closed. It closed with a liquidation, right? And so in this case, what I can do here is, since I'm using structure in supply and demand zones, what I can do here on this one is just pretty much do a pennant like this, and you can just see on how perfect it looks. You can set it like this if you like to, and we're looking for a breakthrough above these highs in here, and we want to look for a run up, right? Just due to, if I look from left to right, it's just been bullish, bullish, bullish ever since from here, and I just want to continue with the momentum. Okay, so let's continue. There you go, we're in that trade. Stop loss will be under this wick, and let's just see what we can get. If we can take out this high, perfect, and that right there will be a +1 right there. And you can see, again, I'm just using this back testing feature and how I'm testing out a certain strategy. There you go, -1, right? And so again, it's like you going in this back testing feature, and it's like you trading live, okay? And if you see that you're taking -1s, 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 let's see what's going on. Let's see on how we can fix that, right? So, but other than that, if you want to join the mentorship, learn more about the way that we trade or I trade, learn more about market structure, supply and demand zones, confirmations, Wyckoff, and all that good stuff, make sure to check the link below in the description. The link is there. But other than that, hope you got something out of this video on how backtesting or that hitting that replay button is very important, and how you can start improving within your live trades, and also how you can improve your system. Okay. But other than that, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. Make sure to like, comment what you want to see next, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.